Hi, and welcome to my brand laning guide. I'll try to keep it short and simple so you can get right back to your next game. First of all, why pick brand? Well, when your team severely lacks magic damage, let's say your team is a Trend, Kayn, Zed, and Jinx, well, that's one great place to pick brand so you can make up for the lack of magic damage. Another great place to pick brand is even if your team has 50-50 AD and magic damage, you can still pick him if the other team has a lot of dive or people that run at you. For example, Volibear, Darius, Set, any ADC, and Alistar is the enemy team comp because Brand thrives when the opposing team is clumped up and running at him, since he has a lot of AoE damage. Other times you can pick brand is if you can't trust your teammates or you don't trust your teammates. If you don't think they can carry, well, you picking brand, you can certainly carry if you're good enough. So, what's your role as support brand in the laning phase? Well, first of all, it's zoning and poking. The way you support with a pick like Brand or Zyra is by making room in the lane for your ADC and making it harder for the other laners to get XP and CS. Secondly, your job as support Brand is to scale. Brand is one of the best team fighters in the game, and he scales so well on levels. If you're used to playing a champ like Alistar, where you're useful even 5 levels down, you might need some adjustment because Brand needs to stay relevant in XP and levels. What are Brand's power spikes? Well, Brand has 3 power spikes. There's level 3, where he can finally proc his passive. Then there's level 6 with your ultimate. And then there's level 9 where you max rank your W, which deals a lot of damage. When you hit these power spikes, you're going to be considerably stronger than probably most of the champions in League of Legends. All of Brand's spells deal damage, but that doesn't mean that he can fight anyone. You can probably fight the mid laner, which is a lot of levels above you, and still kill him, but you might die for it. And don't forget, if Brand gets behind in levels and XP, he's going to be considerably less strong. Next up is combos you need to know in lane. First of all, I'm going to put this in combos, but it's not really one. Here's a tip to hit skill shots. Cast your abilities as the ADC or other player is about to last hit a minion. You're almost guaranteed to hit them if they don't have a dash. First up is EQW. EQ to stun the target, and that guarantees your W. This is the most basic combo to Brand. Then there's the level 2 combo WQ. If you need a stun, this is the combo to use. Basically, it's the fastest stun you can do. Then there's QEW, which is the most AoE damage you can deal without your ultimate. Then there's REW, which is the max AoE damage you can deal and allows you to still Q an enemy after to stun them. Lastly, if the enemy laners are playing really far back, you can Q a minion and then E it. This will increase the range of your E and make it so you will most likely hit the ADC and support from far away. Next up are the runes. So, Brand's primary keystone is Dark Harvest, which is a great use for Brand because he loves teamfights and he can proc multiple times. It can also proc off his passive. It also scales with Dark Harvests more than with AP, which Brand doesn't want to buy all that much since he has low AP scalings. Secondly, you should go Taste of Blood. It's sustain in lane and oftentimes heals as much as a pot or two. If you find that you don't really need the sustain, or that it's a really easy matchup like Tahm Kench, you can go Cheap Shot, which allows you to deal a little bit more damage. Next up, there's Ghost Poro or Zombie Ward. Well, this one gives you a bit of AP and better vision. Don't take all Eyeball Collection because it gives the same AP but less utility. Last domination rune is Ravenous Hunter. I use it to heal off chickens mid-game. It often saves me from a back. You could also go Ultimate Hunter, but with his ult oftentimes up when you need it, it's up to you. Secondary runes, I go Presence of Mind, which is great mana sustain in lane because it works off his passive, and then Coup de Grace, because it works well with Dark Harvest and might get you a kill. I just like this rune in general. These are the runes I love the most. It's great mana sustain and health sustain, while still a lot of killing potential. I think these are the best runes for Brand in general. If you don't care for the ones I just showed you, you could try Manaflow Band, and Celerity, Transcendence, or Scorch. These runes could be nice if you go something like Cosmic Drive for with Celerity for something that's a little bit faster, or with Transcendence to get more ability haste. It's all up to you. If you've never really played Brand or champs similar to him in the support position, maybe you're gonna have a hard time positioning. Then I would go probably Biscuit Delivery and Time Warp Tonic, because if you have trouble getting used to it, these runes might save you from a back or two where you can get down from XP. And we all know that once you get down and the enemy starts snowballing, it's not really fun and you don't get to learn a lot. So maybe at the start you could use this. Next up is the build. What do you build as Brand? Well, the first buy is always going to be the same. Spell Thief's Edge and 2 pots. This is just the best first buy. Then on your first and second back, depending on the money you get, you can buy refillable if you think you need it. I really like to buy Sorcerer's Shoes because Brand has most of his damage on his base stats of his abilities. Getting a little bit of AP will add less damage than if you buy Penetrative Boots. The core item on Brand right now is the mythic Liandry's Anguish. The burn lasts longer because of your passive, and it has nice AP and mana, plus ability haste. It has everything Brand wants. Next up, for the rest of your build, you're going to have to think about the fact that Brand can put ability effects on everyone with his AoE. So items like Demonic's Embrace, Morello's, Rylai's are really good on Brand. It also gives him a bit of health, which makes him tankier, which is always good. I really hope this guide helped you, and I hope you have a nice one.